All right, another video where I'm going to be talking about mouthpieces. And this one we're going to be talking about for the Bari sax. So, I don't bring up the Bari sax very often on this channel, but it's actually my secondary instrument after bassoon. I play Bari sax most often. And the particular Bari sax that I play is a Conn 12M. It's a low B flat Bari. I don't have a low A. Wish I did, but I don't. It's one of the most popular and well-used Baris of all time. And this happens to be from the time that they were being produced in Nogales, Mexico. So it's sometimes called a Mexicon. There is an inherent issue, though, with the 12M, and that is it is very mouthpiece dependent. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the mouthpieces that I've tried, and then what I just got in the mail a couple days ago. So the first mouthpiece I have on here is my original, it's a Woodwind Imperial mouthpiece. And I used this all through high school and college, and it worked great on every horn I played on, except this one. And to give you an idea, I'm going to play the introduction from Hartmann's Second Symphony. It doesn't work. It's like a quarter step sharp. And I'm actually pulled out a long way, and that is one of the big problems. If I were to take that same phrase down an octave, it's closer to in tune, but not dead on. So this mouthpiece is not suited for this instrument. In fact, in order to play a modern mouthpiece on the 12M, Music Medic has introduced what they call a 12.5. But basically what they've done is they've created a new neck that's like half an inch longer, full inch longer maybe. I'm not even sure the dimensions. But in order for me to buy one of those, it would cost as much as I bought this whole horn for. And it's just not an investment I feel is going to be worth it. So, what to do then? Well, what I have been doing for several years is I've got this. This is an old, unbranded Bari sax mouthpiece, probably from the 20s or 30s. This is the kind of mouthpiece that would have been used with a Conn 12M. A lot of times these kind of mouthpieces are affectionately called a pickle barrel mouthpiece because it's so big and fat. In fact, I will show you the difference in size on them. If you were not knowledgeable, you might think that this is actually a bass sax mouthpiece. And truth be told, it might actually be a bass sax mouthpiece. Now that I'm looking at the facing on here, I just wonder if this is actually a bass sax mouthpiece that I've been using all along. The issue is a bass sax mouthpiece and a Bari sax mouthpiece often have the exact same outer body. That's the inside that's different. But anyway, I'm going to put this mouthpiece on, and I'm going to play that same passage again. I've got my tuner sitting right here. I don't really have a good way of showing you what it is. Just know that the Woodwind Imperial was a quarter step sharp, even pulled out about as far as I could get on the cork with blue tape on here. that's now dead on in tune in that register. And open C sharp is really flat, but it's generally flat on most vintage saxophones. I mean, that's just an inherent tendency of this horn. But what I've got now, and that is this. So in the last video, I showed Jared DeLeon's contralto, or great bass clarinet mouthpiece. This is his bass sax mouthpiece. And if I zoom in, you should be able to see, hopefully that doesn't come out backwards, but Jared D on there. This is his bass sax mouthpiece. And just for giggles, I decided to try it on my Bari. Because I know that the Conn 12M is really mouthpiece dependent. Well, let's just see what happens. Now, I've actually already tried this, so I know what's going to happen. The big problem I have with that no-name mouthpiece is it has absolutely no power. I cannot push it to a volume. So I've been having to sacrifice intonation, sacrifice volume for intonation. I'd rather be in tune than loud. If I were out of tune, they'd kick me out of the band. But let's see what this does. Now, this is Jared's bass sax mouthpiece. It's designed to play on a bass, not on a Bari. So let's see what it does on a 12M Bari. This is huge power. Now, here's the thing. Remember how the Woodwind Imperial was a little sharp? And by little, I mean a quarter step. Right now, Jared's bass sax mouthpiece on a Conn 12M is running about 15 cents sharp. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue tape on here so that I can pull the mouthpiece out just a little bit. And that's dead on in tune. And I'm getting those as in tune as I ever get. Green light on the tuner all the way. And listen to how much louder that is. Now, I'm going to switch back to the unbranded old vintage 1920s mouthpiece. Play the same Granger. And let's see what this mouthpiece does. Same ligature, same reed, same Brett, same instrument, different mouthpiece. See, I have a lot harder time articulating on this. I can't push the air. It's half the volume. I would use this if I were doing something in a very classical setting, church gig, something where I need to be much more refined, much more delicate. But I need power. I need articulation. I need to be able to balance a section of trombones and trumpets. And Jared's bass sax mouthpiece on a Conn 12M Bari sax is absolutely the ticket. Now, as I said in the last video, I am not an unbiased reviewer. It could be said that I am the one that goaded Jared into buying his bass saxophone. But that said, this mouthpiece works extremely well on this instrument. It does exactly what I need it to do. Now, question, how soft can I get? So getting softer is a little bit more of a challenge. I've got to have a little bit more control. I've got to get this ligature on here a little bit better. So if I have to do something really soft and delicate, I may switch over to the old Pickle barrel. But man, for power, for playing my swing band, yeah, I'm definitely going to be using a bass sax mouthpiece on Bari sax of all things. It works. It's got a much more modern, compact sound. It does not have that old, well, for Rasher style, which is basically what this is. It's for like Rasher style playing. Belt on that all day long, and I'm going to be interested to see what my section mates in the swing band think of a completely different sound than they're used to. So, yes, absolutely. Jared De Leon's bass sax mouthpiece works incredibly well on the Conn 12M Bari sax. The only modification I have to do is I have to put a little bit of blue tape on here so that I can get the neck, the mouthpiece onto the neck in the right position, because the old mouthpiece has compressed the neck cork just enough that I couldn't get this onto the right position. It means I'll probably have to recork this, but that's no big deal. And again, like on the Contra Alto clarinet mouthpiece, it will need a mouthpiece patch, which I currently do not have on here, because it does have that rough 3D printed surface to it. And that can be taken with a little bit of sandpaper and, you know, sand it down a little bit. But a mouthpiece patch right over there, your teeth will never know. Absolutely recommend this mouthpiece. If you are playing a Conn 12M and are having issues getting the instrument to play in tune with a more modern mouthpiece, this works really well. I'm going to be curious to see what it actually does on a bass sax. Maybe I'll take a trip down to a friend who has a few bass saxes to try it out. I want to see what it does on the bass sax's middle D problem. But again, link down below in the description if you want to purchase one of these. Again, I'm not fully unbiased, but I don't get anything back from it. So But yeah, absolutely love this mouthpiece. Thank you, Jared. And I will see you guys later.